Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things. And a sewing video for you all on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. This video will be broken up into segments. I'm not sure yet what segments those are going to be, but timestamps are on the screen, in the description box, and as chapters in the video. I do know I'm going to be talking inspiration, like where I got the pattern for this dress came from, fabric, things like that. We're going to talk construction. We're going to talk things I might do differently in the future, and go from there. I made a notes and then I can't find my notes, so I'm going to go from sheer memory. But if you are curious about one thing over another, the timestamps are available for you. If this is your first video on this channel, this is Junior. He's my little baby cat, a rescue kitten that I picked up that walked into my house last year, who thinks that when lights are on and I'm talking to myself, it is time for him to shine. So we'll leave him on here for a few minutes while I talk the beginning parts, but he will leave after that. So what are we talking today? I made a dress. Yay! So before we get started, I do want to say hello, everybody. Hello to the new subscribers, the OGs, anyone in between. Hello to the people who are curious about the I was going to say hooks and needles, but that's wrong. Then my brain buffered. But to who's interested in chalk and notch and any of their kinds of clothing patterns that they have available, yeah, hello to everyone. Hello to the people who have been watching the channel but are not subscribed, and anyone. I might have said that twice. I don't know. Anyways. You're all so very much welcome, and your comments are always so appreciated down in the comment section. And the second thing I want to mention, if you saw Monday's video, I've mentioned it there. I'm going to mention it today, and I'll probably talk about it on Friday's video as well. But a really good friend of the channel, Kenyatta from Kenyatta's Hobbies, is having a tough time with her family right now. Her grandbaby is quite sick through no fault of her own. Here's a link up here to her little GoFundMe link. And so do think about checking it out, maybe helping her out, donating or sharing the link. It's pretty terrible what happened to her granddaughter. Nobody should go through that. Nobody should experience that in their lifetime. So yeah, if you can, do go check it out. Share if you can, donate if you'd like. Every dollar counts when it comes to something as important as that. But yeah, that's it's always so hard to talk about things like that. I don't like doing it. I like to try to stay happy and positive on this channel. So with that being said, let's talk about the dress that I made. I made a dress! Yay, part one. What are we talking about? So I made a dress. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know that I think I talked about it way back in 2023 at a Black Friday sale over on Chalk and Notch's website, that they had all of their patterns on sale. So I picked up the Shea pattern. Here's a picture of it. I picked it up and I said, I'm going to make this. It has all the aspects of a dress that I like, and I'd been eyeing it for a while, so I picked it up. And then I said, okay, now I need to get garment fabric. But in the area of Connecticut that I live in, garment fabric stores are few and far between. I did have a local Joanne Fabrics, but their selection was almost exclusively quilting cotton, and a couple of the other stores that I visited in my area a bit further out, they had some garment stuff, but nothing that spoke to me in a way that made me want to buy it to make this dress. Then I was in New York with my cousin. We went to the garment district, or the fabric district, whatever they call it. We went to Mood because she'd always been curious about Mood. Wandering through there, I saw a whole bunch of stuff that I really, really liked, but I'd only traveled with a backpack. So I said, maybe I'll order something online. But when it comes to clothing fabric, I really like to be able to touch fabric. So I kept putting it off and not ordering anything for this dress. And then last August, Sewers Club sent out a project, right? The Sewers Club project was a little book tote. And that book tote felt so soft. The fabric that they used wasn't normal quilting cotton. It felt different. And in the comment section, I think someone said, oh, I think that'd make a beautiful blouse. And I said, I think that would make a beautiful dress, right? Like, I think that it feels so nice. It was so nice to work with. I thought that would make just a wonderful dress. It was kind of an offhand comment, not thinking anything much about it. But then Sewers Club saw that video, saw the comment section, and kindly sent me 5 meters of fabric for my dress. So I've had this fabric now for almost a year that I've been staring at it, but garment construction is not something that I am very familiar with. Getting it to fit right, all of that is not something that I do often. It is how I learned to sew, right, is making like a sweater and some pants and things like that. If you've been on the channel, you know I learned a lot of cutting and early construction stuff from my cousin who sews a lot of clothing. And so I said I wanted to make it, but I kept putting it off. I kept putting it off because I wanted to print the pattern out. I bought a digital pattern, kept putting it off, right? Procrastination is a big thing. So I had the fabric, I had the thread. Sewers Club sent me some glide thread that matched really beautifully. I had the pattern. I just needed to actually get around to making it. So fast forward to this summer, I went to Edmonton, visit my family, and told my cousin we're making this dress, and she said okay. And so we made the dress. It took us 3 weekends. I had to pick up a lining fabric, which was just a lightweight kind of cotton from Fabricland. We picked up a interfacing, which is my cousin called it a suiting interfacing. We got that at Central Sewing in Edmonton. We got an invisible zipper from Central Sewing as well. And I forgot the thread. So we picked up the exact same color in glide thread from Central Sewing too. So this stuff came from, the pattern is from Chalk and Notch. I'll have it linked in the description box. The fabric itself, I don't know what the fabric name is, but I got it. Junior, you're pulling my dress fabric. I got it from Sewers Club. The lining, or the interfacing, the thread, and the zipper came from Central Sewing, and then the lining cotton came from Fabricland. It took us, like I said, 3 weeks to make, but I'm just so happy. So now let's get into part 2, talking more about what the pattern is, what the pattern entails, and I'm going to move Junior because he's trying to ruin my dress, because he's a jerk face. So there's a few dress styles specifically that I'm always drawn to. Flowy peasant style skirts, like vintage 50s dresses that require petticoats, right? 50s and 60s big dresses that require petticoats. I like volume, I think, in dresses more than anything else. I'm not a huge fan of like body, tight to the body. I'm not a fan of tight to the body clothing in general, but I really like flowy things. And this dress is flowy. Like I said, it's the Shea dress. Here's a photo of some sort. I haven't collected the photos yet, but here's a photo of the different options that are available for this dress. I did it all. I did the full skirt, I did the zipper in the back, I did the full sleeves. I like went whole hog on this dress, but there are sleeveless choices. You could do a front button closure instead of a back zipper closure. I think you could probably mess around with the skirt as well if you wanted shorter or longer. My cousin said that if you just did the one layer of skirt, you'd have like a really cute like peplum top too. So there's quite a few options when it comes to this particular pattern. Pricing for the Shea pattern rate is on the screen right now for you. I think I paid something like $12 for the digital download, but they have digital copies and they have print copies as well. Now what's cool about the digital copies is that there's 3 different ways that you could use them. They have the projector file, they have a PDF home printer file, and then they have like the large format printing file. I did large format printing, so I got this in I think 3 or 4 sheets that I then just cut out. Cutting them out was really nice too, but we'll talk about that in part 3, construction. So anyway, yeah, there's lots of options with this, which I thought was really cool. And lots of fine details to them. So there is like a puffed sleeve, which is cute. Here's a photo of the puff sleeve, a better photo of the puff sleeve. But there's a puffed sleeve. There are pin tucks on the sleeve as well. So just like a fun little detail for you. There's a band with gathering on the bottom with a keyhole kind of cutout and like a lovely tie. So this sleeve in itself was the most complicated part of the project. Then there's the back zipper, right? It's an invisible zipper. And it goes down into your first skirt layer, ending here. So here's your end of your first skirt layer, and your zipper goes to here. So you have like a little bit of a join here. I guess they call it a princess top. So you've got your curving out here. Junior, one of his favorite things in the world is to snuffle. So I think my cousin called it like a princess seam or something, but right, it curves here. So the dress is fitted to your bust, which is really cool. And then there's 3 layers of peasant style gathering. Like I said though, you have options. You could do buttons down the front as well. They give you the pieces for buttons, right? You could remove the sleeves. You could choose the length really if you want to. And then the interior is we did a cotton on the interior, and then it is also interfaced with, like I said, my cousin called it suiting interfacing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's interfaced. So the top is 3 layers of fabric kind of pushed together, so it makes for a really nicely structured top. Lots of attention to detail. I love this dress. I love this pattern. I'm gonna definitely make it again. So let's talk part 3, some of the construction things. So we followed the pattern step by step by step. We cut it out. This pattern goes from, it's like a multi-size pattern. I think it goes from like a very small up to 22 or 24. My measurements for the most part hit a 22, I believe. I'm 5'3", normally wear an extra large, sometimes a 1X. Like the t-shirt I'm currently wearing is an extra large. The shorts I'm currently wearing is an extra large. In jeans, I usually buy a size like 18, maybe a size 20, right? But in the sewing world, patterns are always sized a little bit differently. So I believe my measurements brought this out to be a size 22, and it was quite easy to cut out all of those pieces. Now my arms are a little bit on the larger side, so we kept the band at the largest size that was on the paper to adjust, and we decided just to leave the band as itself. But cutting the pattern out was quite easy, quite nice to follow. Side note, the paper was really nice too. I ordered it from like a lady in Edmonton who I think just has like a large scale printer and has set herself up for being to print patterns. If you Google her, if you're in the Edmonton area or in Alberta, Western Canada area, I would say just look up large format printing, and she'll probably come up. I don't remember her name. She doesn't have a website or anything. She just has a Facebook page. So she was really cool. She has you either pick it up at her home, or she will mail it to you for how much ever it costs to mail them. But anyway, cutting was really nice. I cut out all the pieces that I needed to cut out. I've saved them. I don't know where they are. I put them in an envelope, labeled them, and I think they're somewhere upstairs in the sewing room. But anyway, cutting it all out was really good. Following the instructions for cutting it out was really nice too. My cousin basically made this dress for me. I helped with gathering and things like that, small things, but she for the most part did all of the cutting. She did all of the sewing. I was just basically there to help with fit and small projects like gathering. I did do like make suppers and do cleanup and played with her cat and stuff, but for the most part she did this all. Anyway, so I think they had you make the bodice first. That wasn't complicated, but it was a lot of parts, steps, just because, right, you're fully lining the interior, and then you're also like closing off the interior as well. But you did the bodice, and then you attached the sleeves. And my cousin said the sleeves were the most work because there's a gather on the top, you gather on the bottom, a cutout, and these pin tucks, right, plus the band, plus the ties. She said that this was the most amount of work. And she had some user error in that she cut out 2 sleeves of the same side, and it's fine until you hit the cutout. When you do the cutout, you have to do you have to do opposite sides, right? Like you need a left side and a right side for the cutout to sit in the back. So luckily we had enough fabric that we could do a second cutout for this sleeve. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind, that everything is the same until you reach your cutout stage. So she had to make 3 sleeves really, but because I think she did all of this, the pin tucking and then the cutout, I think is how they said to do it. I don't remember. Like I said, she's the one that did all the sewing. But yeah, so then bodice, sleeves, check the fit. The fit seemed good. Sewed the skirt panels. I sat there gathering the skirt panels. I also sat there for too long turning these out because we could not find her turning tool. But anyway, we did the gathering, we did this, then she installed the first level of skirting, did the zipper, then we did the second and third skirts, then we tried it all on. We needed to find out if it was too, like if we're gonna have to do anything with the skirt itself or if the skirt sat properly. Again, I'm 5'3", or 5'2". I'm quite short, so patterns almost always have to be adjusted for my height. This dress is designed to sit like mid lower calf. On me, with just a standard little hem, it sits almost to the floor, and so we left it because I like that. Did it all, did the fit. We were happy with it, and she sent it home with me. So 3 weekends of work. I don't know how many hours she put into it, but it took us 3 weekends. We thought it was going to take maybe 2, but it took 3 weekends. I got it a couple of days before I left to come back to Connecticut. So it worked. It came together really nicely. It has some really nice top stitching. They had a way of you doing an inline or inside kind of top stitch. I don't remember what it's called, so that you don't see any lining or anything when you're wearing the dress, which is really cool. But on my birthday, as I was wearing this, we did realize that the fit of the top was a little loose on me. It's probably because, right, you should wear a nice bra when you're doing fittings, and I was being really lazy in sports bras. So when I wore a proper bra and had everything adjusted properly, this part didn't sit as well. So my cousin pinned these top areas to pull the bodice up against me better. She pinned it, and then she sent me home with the pins and with instructions on how to close up this, or to open up the seam, fix this, and then go about it. So now let's get into part 4, what I did. So I've had this dress for a while at home. I've been staring at it, right? I've been back for about a month now, and last week I finally got around to fixing this. She told me I should open up the lining down here and work my way up to the armhole, and I said, screw that, that's too much work, I don't want to do it. So instead I opened up the seams here and here, and I opened up the seams here and the seams here, split these open, marked where I needed to bring it in. So it was about, I don't know, almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch on each side down to here. I left as much bulk on this side as I could so I didn't have to mess with the gathering too much. But like here to here, right? Sewed it closed first, came downstairs, right? Had my husband look at it, looked in the mirror, made sure everything was sitting properly. Then I trimmed those out, flattened out the seams, and then I sewed them closed with just a top stitch. So if you look here, you can kind of see where like her beautiful stitching came in, and then where I kind of came in, finished it off, and then where her stitching picks up again. You cannot really tell when I'm wearing it that there is a problem. I did end up pinching it just a tiny bit here, but I don't think that you can tell when you're wearing it. So there's that, and then there's these two little stitches here where I caught her original seams and made sure to like reinforce them so that nothing's going to come loose. So that's this top shoulder here, and then this top shoulder here. This one has a little bit of a bump in it, I'm not sure why, but if I need to, I'll tack it down or something. You cannot, I don't think you can tell when I'm wearing it what is going on, but that's how I fixed it, instead of going in and then tunneling up like she wanted me to. For a much cleaner fix, you should like go in and tunnel up, but I thought it worked fine. The puff is a little higher now than it used to be, but I like a puffy sleeve, so I'm okay with that. So now let's show you videos or photos of it on me. Again, probably not my face, because my face has never intentionally been on this channel, and I don't plan on it starting now. It's one of the reasons that I can't really do a lot of garment, or I don't do a lot of garment making on this channel. It's because I don't like showing myself. I don't like myself in photos. I don't like myself in videos. The only picture of me on this channel is a profile shot of me from my wedding day. Or on Instagram is a profile shot of me on my wedding day. But yeah, so as I'm talking, whatever photos I have that I could get my husband to take, videos, photos of me, you are seeing. It's nice and full, a little twirly, not super twirly, but a little twirly. You can kind of see the fit on how it sits on my body, how it kind of looks on my short little frame. And I'm just really, really happy with it. I wasn't sure about the color because I don't normally wear a lot of light, soft green colors, but I think it works. I think it looks nice. And in general, I'm just really, really happy with it. So yeah, let's get into part part 5, final thoughts, sign off. I'm going to make this dress again. I bought some other fabric from Fabricland that I've washed. I have another dress pattern that I'm going to make out of that fabric. We got the pattern for that cut. My cousin wrote out notes for me on what I need to do to make alterations for it to fit my body a little bit better. But I bought fabric for that, and then I bought the exact same fabric in a different color way, and I think I might make another dress like this. If I make another dress though, I'm going to make a different version. It's going to have buttons down the front, because why not? And it's not going to have the sleeves. It's going to be more of like a summery summer kind of dress. Like this I can wear spring, right, summer, maybe fall, right? It's a little light for fall, but I could see this being like a fun Easter dress, a fun weekend summer dress. I really, really like it. So yeah, I'm not super adept at making clothes. I'm not super, like, I'm not really able to pinpoint how I need to fix something, but I'm very, very lucky in that my cousin, who is on the bigger side like I am, has taken multitudes of classes to learn how to do fits and stuff for herself, and so she is always happy to impart that information on me. So I do hope to do other more clothing in the future on this channel. So maybe stay tuned for that. And for another dress, if I make another dress, oh, there's a good question for you. If I make another dress, do you want me to do like a walkthrough of here's the pattern, here's the dress cut out, here's the dress as I'm sewing it together, right? Those kinds of steps, or would you like something a bit more comprehensive like this instead? But yeah, let me know. Are you like a dressmaker, a garment maker? Are you a quilter? Are you like a little project person? I'm mostly a little project person. I've been doing more quilts, but this is my first clothing project in a couple of years. And really, like I said, it was mostly my cousin and not me, because she's great. I think I'm babbling. I haven't babbled in a while. So stay tuned for more clothing content, I guess. Like now that I have that other dress cut out, or the pattern cut out and the alterations noted, I should probably just lay that out and cut it. Use my nice fancy left-handed sewing scissors, cutting scissors, fabric scissors. But yeah, let's stop the babbling. So subscribe if you want to see, if you're curious about seeing more sewing, clothing sewing videos. Subscribe if you want to see more sewing videos in general, or crochet videos, or the odd crafting video, or the odd cat video, anything like that. Like the video if you've made it to the end, or if you like the video, you like the project, any and all things that you might like about it. Let me know how you are with clothing making and all of that jazz. And yeah, what do we have coming up? I forgot to say that too. Friday is our 6-month kit nip review video. Saturday is a bonus cat lady unboxing video. Monday is our hooks and needles box 13 review video. Wednesday, I think, is most likely going to be our last Sewers Club stash builder unboxing, and then Friday is most likely a Mary Maxim unboxing. So if any of that interests you, again, think about subscribing. And with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye!